Well, we're still in the well house, getting everything ready for this winter, getting it all sealed up. And then we finished up. I don't know if we can see it behind us. We got our positive ventilation in case we have another leak or whatever, because these things just do that. We want to take the water out of the building so that we don't get too wet and moisture-fied up in here. There it is, just as you could just barely see it. We put the intake in there. We've got that. We're still leaking air somewhere, and yesterday I believe I found it as being at the bottom of the door sweep, because we have obviously a new frame, so we got new door seals. And when I cut the frame to fit the door on the strike side, I made it where I'd have to pull the door tight against the seal to make sure we seal real good, so it would do that, because it wasn't drilled in there or cut in there. Anyway, so we got that nice and tight. We're still losing a little bit of air down there on the bottom that we just saw the intake. We're opening the louvers just a little bit to pull. Of course, I waited to shoot the video and didn't do it in time. I don't think I shot the video. I thought about it a couple of times and probably didn't, but we opened up the exhaust. We could hear a change in pitch as the fan started to struggle a little bit for makeup air. We've got it sealed around the top. We added extra insulation in it. So the last thing we can do, if we really want to stop the air leaks from coming in, except for where we want it to come in, we need to put a door sweep on. And that's just going to mean knocking out the hinges on said door behind you, lifting the door slab out, and then pulling it out and putting this here door sweep on. Some people may call this one a door seal if it's under the bottom, and they may say only the wiper type or door sweeps. I don't really care. It's just leaking. It appears to be leaking at the bottom, and we're going to change that because I didn't do that when I remounted the door. Now, I want to point one thing out, that the instructions on that door seal don't tell us. They say knock the hinges out. Well, that's assuming that you have an in-swinging exterior door like we have here, like most people have an in-swinging door. They do make exterior doors that swing out. Now, the problem with the verbiage I just used as being an out-swinging door, you can't knock the pins out, because if you could knock the pins out, you could break into any structure just by knocking the pins out. You wouldn't have to have the lock. Just knock the pins out, pull the door off. So they weld the hinges together. The pins are welded at the bottom. You can't get the pins out. So if you have a door like that, and you have an out-swinging door, you'll have to then take your door off its hinges right there. You just have to unlock the door, take the door hinges off, instead of taking the pins out. Well, all right. Now, I didn't show you knocking the pins out because, holding the camera, trying to knock them out, hammer in one hand, pin punch on the other. Just not real easy to do, especially when the fact that there's just not much room in that 8x8 well house. But you just need a punch. This one happens to be a center punch of sorts. It's not a dotting punch. It's flat. It's a pin punch, I guess I would call it. It's a pin punch. I actually got this one out of the reloading room, the building room. But anyway, yeah, just a pin punch, flat on the top, because you don't want to spread the pin at all. So we want to punch it down. And then take a persuasion tool, any kind of hammer you want. This one's for illustrative purposes. I just grabbed it out of the room in there. And yeah, you just go up underneath that hinge and keep tapping, drive that hinge pin out. Now the thing is, you should go from the bottom, because if somebody hung the door wrong and the pins were punched down from the top, through time working back and forth around that little pin, it would slowly start to migrate out the bottom, fall out of your hinge. So yeah, do check to make sure you got the little flat part on the top. If you're doing this for the first time, if this is that kind of instruction for you doing it for the first time, do it that way. As you can see, this seal is pretty well shot, 20 years old. It's original with the door, and we've broken the middle piece out. So we'll take that off. We'll look for any kind of brads, nails, screws, or staple. If we don't have it, we should be able to just knock it off right here, pry it off, either which one, out of the kerfs, the grooves that are in the bottom of the door. Then we put the other one on, measure, after we measured it, trim it to the length, and that's it. Put the door back on. Hey, appreciate you watching. Do me a favor, if you will, subscribe to the channel, either the YouTube or the Rumble channel, which this appears in. And if you can, check the notification bell or settings to make sure that you get notified when new videos are posted. Appreciate it. Oh yes, you'll have to excuse the dirty garage. It's not been garage cleaning period just yet. We usually wait till a little further in the fall when you don't sweat as much. But anyway, here is our new seal. Old seal, we can see it's busted on that side. What we have to do is come down here and cut it with a handsaw. With a hacksaw, actually, is the type of handsaw we'll use. We'll cut it right there, try to square it up nice. Then what we have to do is we got to back off here, and the little holders, the little things that go into the kerf. And the kerf is just a word for how big of a trolley, a gap or trough is created by a saw blade. You'll see that term on chainsaw chains. They'll specify the kerf cut. That just means how wide of a groove it cuts. So not a big deal. Saw blades, circular saw blades, that kind of thing. Any of those things, how big of a kerf. So that's a new term if you don't know it. But yeah, we'll just have to trim it down, and then we'll just bang it back in the spot. Dust it off, put it back on the frame. That's it. Well, here we have our under the door seal. That's what they call it. And it does say that it is a kerf or channel fit. Of course, I just looked at it without really thinking about what it's called. I know what I'm looking for. But under door seal, sweep, maybe actually technically the other thing that I was talking about. This one came in at 36 inches somewhere, to tell you up here. Yeah, 36, and you got to trim it. We just trimmed it. If you're super new, this is a hacksaw. And they have different types of saw. It's a type of handsaw. No big deal. Using a 32 tooth on it. Cuts clean. We just cut it off, and then we trim the little grooves back. Now, if you want to see just how bad 20 years does to something, we showed this when it was on the door, but see, I don't know if you can see just how unbelievably hard this is. Not only is it broken and missing part where it has oxidized through the years, but it's just stiff as a board. Now the new seal, look at it. See how much squishier and better that is? That hopefully will take some of the leakage from under the door, if in fact I'm right about where it's coming from. Well, we've got a little brush here, and we're going to brush out the, what do we call the grooves? That's right, they're kerfs. So now you know a new word. If you didn't know it before we started, you know that new word. We're just going to brush them out and put it on. Finish. Now we're just standing on our heads just a little bit, but if I can see what I'm doing and do it at the same time, see, this just squishes right down into those grooves, and that's all there is to put it on. Well, that's the show. Super easy to do. If you will, do the subscribe thing, hit the notification bell. You know the drill. You hear a lot of people ask you for that. Really helps a lot. See you next week.